I guess you're just gonna have to be happy. Anyway, you guys know the rules of the cantina. I am not gonna go over them again, but just suffice to say that if you come in here to troll, you're gone. Okay. Anyway, let's talk last night on the live stream that Doomcock had, and here I had a round table, and everybody's quite emotional about the choice that Grogu will make. Now, I want to explain something here. It doesn't matter the choice that Grogu makes. I personally think he's going to that Luke will let him have both. All right? Grogu is 50 years old. Okay? He is going to see many people in his lifetime that he's going to care about. Humans that come and go. All right? When Luke, this just occurred to me, when Luke said, basically explained to him, our lifetimes are hey Deborah, are much shorter than yours, and you're going to see a lot of people come and go. He was trying to explain to him just how significant his lifetime is. Hey Dave. And it doesn't matter what choice he makes. First off, I think Luke was just testing him. Second of all, and this is going to be from the practicality standpoint, or no, I'll get to that. Second of all, I think Luke is going to allow him to do both, okay? He has to learn how to control himself, and he is destined to be a Jedi, okay? He is. He's destined to be a Jedi. The thing you hear slamming around in my house is my dog. He found a ball, and we will never get any rest for the rest of our lives. All right. Anyway, Kojak, I'm gonna take that away from you. I am. Anyway, Euler Greg is right. So I don't understand the problems. And yes, balance is the lesson. Here's why. Let's say I am the vice president for whatever at Disney, and I do money. And I do accounting. And we've got all this stuff going on. And we look at and they probably already have done predictions on models on what they expect to earn from any timeline that leads to the ST, and any timeline that veers away and is a 180 from the ST. And you're looking at that, and you've got, okay, that's okay, Jeremy. And you've got Susan Arnold sitting there, Bob Chapek, Alan Bergman, and others, and Alexia Quadracci sitting there. And they're going, well, this model doesn't predict any financial success. This model is basically a giant red line, okay? But this one, because we're including characters that are popular, Grogu, Mando, Boba Fett, Luke, I'm going to assume, pretty sure Han Solo, Chewbacca, Leia, and others, Cad Bane. I mean, when Cad Bane showed up, I mean, they showed him off in the distance. I'm like, who is that? And as I got closer, I'm like, oh my God, it's Cad Bane. That was a BFD. Okay, that was a big effing deal. Tell you the reason why. Because people have been clamoring for that. You don't hear them clamoring for Kyle Run, and you don't hear Thanks for the glass of wine, Oiler Greg. And you don't hear anybody clamoring for Ray. In fact, Adam Driver probably will never come back to it, even if he's asked. Daisy Ridley put out there that she'd like to, but she's got an indie project she's working on. She can't get, and she's not a horrible actress. She's just not a big budget film actress. She's destined for Downton Abbey or whatever the fuck that thing is called. Okay. She's not big blockbuster film. She's not a big blockbuster film actress. She's just not. There's no clamor to see them. I mean, even if you go, like, I don't have Twitter, but I can't go on it. Even if you go on Twitter, okay, and you kind of look around on it, there's really no clamoring for anything that has to do with the sequel trilogy. Basically, it was so badly written, there's no place to go for those characters. Okay? I mean, Kyle Ron is croaked. He's dead. Thank God. Though having him disappear was just such a fuck you to the rest. You know, I don't think he would have disappeared. Okay? All right. If I remember right, Anakin didn't disappear. Okay? So why does he get to disappear? He's not a Jedi. He's a piece of shit. Okay? You know, why would it just doesn't make any sense. Okay? The sequel trilogy does not follow Star Wars at all. So here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna look at all the predictions, all the models, and they're going to follow the one that probably will make money. And somebody, I think it was on Echo Bay's Facebook, said there could be 3 different timelines now. All right. And we could have the ST and it stops there. We could have the EU, so they can go off and have fun. Anyway, Jon Favreau in 2019 said he was going to take things out of the EU. He said it in an interview. Okay, does that stop at Cad Bane? Does that stop at Grand Admiral Thrawn? No. We still have Mara Jade, who I think is going to be coming. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that Jaina and Jason Solo will appear, the twins. Okay? The reason simply is this. There's more clamor for them than there ever was for Dobby the house elf and the 2x4 that talks. I mean, you know, when Script Doctor criticized Adam Driver's profile, he meant it. I mean, that guy never belonged in a blockbuster movie. He's a character actor on the scale of Lon Chaney and, you know, the rest of the dogs, the rest of the monster, the guys that played monsters back in the day. Okay, he's just not an actor to be put on the big screen in a movie like that. You know, and he's overrated. He didn't do a good job in that role. I mean, the first thing you see of him, sure, he looks cool when he comes out, and he's dressed like, Craig Johnson hates us so much. He's dressed like fucking Darth Revan. They stole the whole costume. They stole the whole costume from that character. It's like, why? And when you take the hood off, he's got the little helmet on, but it's real short. And it makes him look Ghey. There's nothing menacing about him. I got actually scared looking at Bane. He really was scary. Adam Driver, you want to go up to him when he takes off his helmet and, you know, smack him. You know, you spoiled fucking brat. Then look at Han and Leia and say, where the hell did he come from? You two have to figure this out because this is bad. All right? He's, you know, and when you look at, oh, yeah, well, it's, you know, the twins are, there's such a source of untapped storytelling there, I think. There's such a source of untapped potential, like in characters in the EU, not necessarily following the EU verbatim. And yeah, I thought that was too. And strangely enough, they kind of go together, don't they? Well, he was like leaning forward like his back hurt. How old was he supposed to be? 30? You know, I mean, you see him destroy that computer console, and you're looking at him going, there's something wrong with you, dude. I mean, a true villain never acts like that. All right? Well, let's put it this way. I would be more scared of Vader. Yeah, but I tell him, I know who you are. So just stop. Stop the bullshit. He'd probably force choke me. Palpatine, I'd probably snark off at. Kyle Ron, you'd see me chasing him around. You see me chasing him around with one of my horse whips. He's not even a Sith. Darth Nihilus would scare me. I mean, he was really a freak. But Cad Bane scared me. That was, you know, a lot of people are saying, that's who Boba Fett should have been. Ugh. See, Fett is the boss now. Fett has gone through some shit. Not that they ever take that into consideration. I'm going to tell you guys something. Be very thankful no one like them is running the story for this. Okay? Because we just get Mando and Mando and Mando and Mando. And that's not how you progress a story. So, what I think is they're going to choose the way to make money. You know, see, man, I think you're right, but when you look at it, if you look at it from a storyteller's point of view, you can be wrong and still be a decent person. I mean, Yoda and Ben Kenobi were wrong about Anakin, Vader, and they were wrong about the way they taught Anakin. Okay, it was always Qui-Gon Jinn who saw a future for Anakin that didn't necessarily follow dogmatic practice. You know, and I don't think somebody else mentioned that Luke, and I think it was on Midnight's Edge. If Cameron Pasha is here, he can jump in because he was the one that answered this, saying that Luke seemed like he was too dogmatic. Yeah. No. Ahsoka's, look, when I saw Ahsoka there and she said, follow your instincts, that was Qui-Gon Jinn. What do your instincts tell you? You know, be here in the present and now, like I said yesterday. The past is dragging everybody down. And I'm going to say this, there are a lot of good people who are worried that, and this is for everybody, Doomcock and everybody, that shouldn't be worried. Okay, you wonder who they're talking to, and I know WDW Pro is worried about what choice he's going to make, and see, again, the business side has to come in, and this is where, like, even Harrison Ford, I think in 2019 said you got to give the fans what they want. All right, that's a pretty big deal. Well, and he could, and as Cameron said, it's not a big deal if he chooses the armor. You know, it doesn't mean he's not going to get the lightsaber. And I'll tell you something else. Din Djarin, Din Djarin, leaving when he did, after Ahsoka says, "Are you doing this for Grogu or are you doing this for yourself?" He left. So you might see Grogu meet up with Din, but it doesn't mean he's going to go with him. The little pod in the spaceship, I know everyone's like, they're obvious, it's for Grogu, blah, blah, blah. And it might be, all right? You know, Grogu's species lives for almost 1,000 years. So he's going to go through, what, is it 4 generations per century? Think about how many generations of humans he's going to see in his life and other entities. Yeah, he does. And Luke making a mistake in Empire was not a mistake made by Yoda. Yoda gave him a choice. You can go and save your friends if you can. Or you can stay here and finish your training. You're not ready to face Vader. Luke, and it wasn't hubris, it was loyalty. It was fidelity to his friends. And that's Mandalorian, by the way. I think we're probably going to see it. I don't think they're going to. They're going to ignore that. They're not going to leave us hanging like that because a lot of people will be pissed. A lot of people will be very pissed. But and again, like I said, for the people who are worried and getting childishly wrapped up in emotion, if you have any investments, if you follow the Wall Street Journal, if you follow Market Watch like I do, if you talk to the money guys, Mike, Valiant Renegade, the guys in the business like Cameron, etc., you're going to see that Disney doesn't have a choice. They can't follow the sequel trilogy. They can't keep it. They can't even retcon it a little. Because no one who spends money wants it, okay? There's a reason why Disney's suffering right now. At least with Star Wars. They haven't made any money. They have not broken even. And if you look at just how much money Disney's poured in to Lucasfilm, not only to buy it, finance the movies, and create the parks, $7 billion is what we're sure of. But after the things I heard about having to tear things down and rebuild them, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was 10 billion. They'd have taken that 4 billion, 4.7 billion, 4.3, whatever it was, and put it into money market accounts. They'd have $12 billion right now. Okay, without touching it. Okay. Yeah, and the Star Cruiser, yeah, it doesn't look like $1 billion either. I mean, it's like, really? I mean, I just, Forbes can go and say, well, and use what they do is because they depend on none of us to have actually gotten a paycheck and looked at our pay stub and said, they took $400 out of this. or done their own taxes, or, you know, balanced a checkbook. All right, and the people who insist that they made money, Coke bottle glasses, the red-haired ginger, and the nerds that play games, and drunk droids. I doubt they've even ever had to balance a checkbook. All right, they don't know how to even do that, and they're telling us, and we must believe them, that they've made money on the sequel trilogy, and they broke even on the movies. No, they haven't. Okay, I don't know in what language can be spoken to make them understand, but you can't. Will you stop it? How much did TFA cost to make? 325 million. I've seen it either 225 or 325. Think about the marketing. Okay, they put half that into marketing, probably more. Goes out, blows competition away, $2.3 billion, or 2.03 billion. Not quite as much as I think it should have made, by the way. If it had been good, it would probably still be playing in theaters. Think about how much it costs to make, and then take it off that $2 billion. Think about how much it costs to market, and then take that off. Think about what the theater take was. And Disney's list was $750, give or take, $million. Then you get Rogue One with all the problems. It made a little over $1 billion. Okay, it was a good movie. Memorable characters, Galen Erso, but the rest of them, meh. It probably brought home 50 million, maybe 100 million when it's all done. You get to TLJ, maybe 200 million. You get to Soilo, it lost 250 million. So take that, all that off the net profits. All right, right away. Then we get to The Rise of Skywalker with what Doomcock said was $600 million in production costs. Think about the marketing, add that in. Then think about the theater take. It barely limped over $1 billion. That movie didn't break even either. And I'm not sure what if they actually went home with, but I don't think Disney went home with anything. And oh, by the way, Beyond Indy 5, okay, 305. About 750 for TFA. I would say they brought home in net. Heads up that Disney probably didn't make more than 1.5 billion or 2 billion on the movies. Let's go to publishing. The books don't sell, and it's not because people don't read anymore. People don't want to read those books. All right, I guarantee you, Legends novels, and the only books that sold were written by Timothy Zahn, okay? But Legends novels are outselling Wendig and the rest of those people. Then we get the High Republic, which is a joke. It's a joke. There's a rumor going around that Disney wants to develop a live action series for that. Considering that Jon Favreau is running both streaming and feature films, I seriously doubt that, okay? He's worried about getting Star Wars right, not pandering to 5% of the population that feels like they've been left out. Left out by choice, by the way. Left out by choice, not anybody else's. You know, I don't care what anyone says about the 80s. There were gays in our school. We knew who they were. We didn't care. It didn't bother us. You know, we're like, yeah, he's a fag. Who cares? You know, No one cares. So stop making everything about that. Okay? I think I heard a rumor back in the day that Favreau has been thinking about making them. And there's a rumor going around that they're thinking about going back to the old Republic. Well, bot in the chat. Thank you, Dave. They're thinking about going back to the old Republic and doing those. Again, Jon Favreau said they're going to bring in a lot of stuff from the EU. Okay, so we might get that. All right. But back to the path of least resistance. Back to the money. Hey, Patrick. It's okay. I'm going to be on for a little while. The thing that the people over on those big channels, on all the black pills, they're getting people upset. They're getting people nervous who shouldn't be. All right. You know, I'm sorry, but if I have a choice to watch Valiant Renegade and Cameron talking about the business aspects, or Cameron, talking about, what he speculates is going to happen. And oh, by the way, black pills, he hasn't been wrong. Okay? He hasn't been wrong. But a lot of black pills have been. All right? They don't understand money. They don't, they sit around, it's like a circle jerk. All right? They all get together and reinforce each other's stupid attitude. Okay? And it's like, look, it's childish. I don't think that Star Wars fandom should behave like a bunch of 12-year-olds. Okay? Sure, Star Wars was made for the 12-year-old at heart. But if you, as an adult, you should understand that, and also understand that there's money to be made. And guess who has the money? You do. And money talks, bullshit walks. Okay? All right? And too much bullshit has happened for Star Wars recently. And just a minute. Okay, I had to look and see what the dog was doing. When he's up to something shitty, it's usually quiet. Yeah, see, it's the woke is leaving. People saying it costs too much money to change. No, it doesn't. I've seen enough of the parks. I don't know as much about the infrastructure as I probably should. But when you got people like Clownfish TV saying they could reskin it as Tatooine in a heartbeat and Endor in Rise of the Resistance, and it wouldn't cost that much, there you go. And it should be less of a shopping mall and more of an event, okay? Mike, the Mexican Iron Man, told me, the crowds in Anaheim were swarming R2-D2. And Ray was out flouncing around and no one wanted to talk to her. It's over. There's no money to be made. There's no money, okay? Well, Zelfred, I heard about that. And they're going to be there. Again, the black pills are poisoning the fandom, okay? They don't understand business. I doubt any of them ever balanced a checkbook. And if they got a pay stub, they didn't know where the money went. Okay, that's not how you do this. You have to look at Disney and Lucasfilm as both being a business. George Lucas was able to do both. All right. Funny enough, he could do both. But if you look at it as a business, and you look at, where's the High Republic? They've got Phase 4 coming out And I haven't seen high or hair of any of the books. Nothing. One comic book was a Walmart exclusive. No one's buying it. All right? Just a minute. I will let you out. You can slow your roll. Come here, Lena. Come here. Come here, Stinky. Well, he lost his ball. Come here. Come here, dipshit. Come here. Lay down. Oh, it's like having a 5-year-old in the house. Or a demented 4-year-old. What? Can I finish what I'm doing? Kojak. Oh, God, that dog. Anyway, the books don't sell. High Republic is not selling. It's a laughing stock. I've seen hide nor hair of any of the books. And I'm sorry to say, but when they disappeared from Target, I think they were just taken off the shelves. I don't think they sold them. Because there are none. None. Okay. I haven't gone to Barnes & Noble, but I doubt there are any there. And if any place, the Barnes & Noble is closer to Harrisburg, so if there's any dipshits who might like it, like the High Republic, it might be around there. It might come in from Harrisburg or something, but they're not selling. We're supposed to believe that they're making money. We're supposed to believe that. You know, and here's the deal. These black pills are taking away the fans' attention from what's important. Okay? That Atlantic article about Favreau and Kennedy. You know, when you've got people, and I'm really mad about this, saying they didn't see episode 6, and yet they're talking about how bad it was, you're not a fan. You need to either watch it or not talk about it. And if it does come up on a show, be quiet. Don't interject. No one cares because you haven't seen it. At least I can say I went to the, Wild Blue Yonder to actually get an idea of what Solo was about, and it was awful. I actually went and scrolled through The Rise of Skywalker, so I know a little bit about these movies, okay? I can say that. They can't, okay? And I have a legitimate gripe about both of them, all right? I sat there with my mouth agape watching how bad TLJ was, all right? So anybody saying anything about me having not seen those movies, I have, And I'm like, you don't have an image. Your opinion doesn't count. It doesn't count. And I'll tell you something else. It proves one thing. These big OT fans don't know what Star Wars is about. Okay? They really, really don't. Because, let me explain. Luke giving Grogu the choice is huge. He looked great. He was the Luke Skywalker we all knew. He was calmer. He was really zen. Okay? He'd found his own balance. He realized, he's with a little kid that has had trauma in his life. Just like Luke did. Okay? And he's trying to help the kid deal with it. All right? And he did the right thing, I think. And it's childish again to be so worried that it's going to lead to the sequel trilogy. It's not. Again, there's no money in it. None. Zero. Zippo. Where's the path forward? If it ends up in the ST. Me and you not buying the figures, me and you not buying the books, me and you canceling our Disney Plus subscriptions, not going to the parks, and being extremely pissed off. Okay? You ever watch a Jon Favreau movie? There's a certain gentleness to them. The guy can tell a story, and SEO. It doesn't matter if he does. Look, God, so many weak-minded people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You should tell them that. Why does this matter? And then they can't answer it. All right. They can't answer the answer about, but it doesn't lead to, they can't do it because there's no money in it. There's no money in going the ST route. None. None. Okay? But you've got black pills like neckbeards and whatever else shitting all over everything they do, partially because of Gina Carano. And if Disney took away the narrative from them by going public, they wouldn't have anything to talk about. They couldn't even move back the goalposts, which let's say Wednesday morning, 3:30 a.m. after the show's over. Yeah, if he declines it. Well, if he declines both, or wants to make it a more informed choice, that'd be fine too. I don't understand why. Yeah, I think you're right. It's look, again, WDW Pro honestly thinks that if he picks the armor, it's going to the sequel trilogy. And it's like, he doesn't, the guy is good at some rumors, but he doesn't understand storytelling, okay? And he doesn't sure as hell understand money, okay? They don't understand it. And this childish emotion is being, dragged along, the shiny object, Gina and the ST, by the black pills who make money making sure everybody is as miserable as they are. Okay? All right? Okay. Here's the problem. And I'm going to refer to the video I made, the short video I made before this. One of my subscribers here dropped a line and said, Pablo Hidalgo dropped LFL from his bio on Twitter, the public one. He's never had it on the private one. Okay. And he did it like maybe a month ago. And when I posted that, something about the cog in his bio and was laughing about it on the community page, I didn't notice LFL was gone. It's gone. Okay. He's told people on that page he's on a break for writing books, reference books. What's going on? See, the shiny object of Gina and the ST are taking everybody's attention away from Pablo, from the Atlantic article, from what's going on at Indiana Jones 5, and they're not asking the question. They never do, because this is the people that think Kathy Kennedy's the most powerful woman in Hollywood. Where the fuck is she? If she's so powerful, where the fuck is she? Okay? Where is she? No one's seen her. She's not in London. She hasn't been interviewed, except for the PGA interview last October. She's lost all of her major projects. Where is she? To the black pills. Where the fuck is Kathy? Where is she? I want an educated answer. I do not want some childish emotional bullshit that you guys use to rile up the masses. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. That karmic blowback is going to happen. All right? And a lot of you people don't realize it. Yeah, if so powerful as she is, why hide? Okay, her husband is still in California. They're both supposed to be hands-on producers of Indy 5. Okay, now, when I come up with theories, I will get bitch slapped by these fuckers. You know, you've got WW Pro and Doomcock both calling her an executive producer. That means she's no longer in charge of the creative end of it. Okay. Yeah, the Emperor has no clothes. Okay. Where is the Children of Blood and Bone? Being developed at Paramount. Why? Could be because she lost interest and is trying to wrestle Star Wars back from Favreau and Filoni, or it could be that a combination of that and the fact that when Tommy Adeyemi demanded to have a chance to write the script, she said no, and Tommy said, fuck this shit, I'm leaving. Okay? Or another factor, Bob Chapek's looking at it and thinking, we really should be concentrating on the franchises these studios are known for. This is way out of left field, so we're gonna put it up for auction. And actually, I kind of think that was it. Okay, because I expect the way Kennedy was talking about it in October that she really wanted to do this. You know, she really wanted to do this. Okay. So I don't know. I suspect it was a combination of all three, but it's gone. Her pet project. The Acolyte doesn't have a director. It is sitting there in limbo, still in pre-production. It says, but there's nothing on it. There's nobody else listed beyond the woman of color, LGBTQ, XYZ. Shut your fucking mouth and just work, actress. It's literally like, but she's the most powerful woman in Hollywood. You know, and I'll tell you something, these guys, they don't invite me on. They don't want me to come on. The reason why is because I'll embarrass them. All right? They don't want Cameron on because he'll embarrass them. All right? Valiant gets along with everybody. But still, when they start not talking about money and being childish, you know, look, it's a bottom line. Financial people are the most logical people in the world, okay? And that's who's running Disney. Okay, so think about the money. Think about the lack thereof with the High Republic. Think about where Disney could be if they had money. If they had done the right thing in the first place. Think about it. I am literally so sick and tired of trying to assuage people's fears over this. Let John and Dave tell their story. Okay, let them tell their story. Stop worrying because there's no fiscal reason why it should go and follow the SD. And of course, you know, some people say, Disney's not going to spend the money. They spend so much money on it, blah, blah. They got nothing out of it, the SD, nothing, zero. They lost money on it. So please, go on and tell me more, okay? You know, JP Morgan, all right? Go and tell me more, all right? You know, I mean, you'd think some of these guys actually ran Bear Stearns or something. Well, the thing about it is, look, like I said, there are 3 different options. ST timeline, no money, nothing. EU timeline, I really don't know how they'd adopt all that. And there's enough bad in that, in those stories, that I don't think people would like it. But their own timeline where they grab stuff from the sequel trilogy and use some stuff, that was written for the ST and make up their own timeline that ends up victorious and Star Warsy. I think that's what they're doing. Okay? There's money in that. I mean, I guarantee you the Cad Bane figures are now in high demand, and I got one. The Acolyte officially greenlit. Well, it says pre-production on the IMDb Pro page, but nothing from Disney, nothing from Lucasfilm. The only person who's been leaking shit out there is Leslie Forehead, okay, Fred Flintstone. Nothing legitimately to talk about, or you know what I'm saying, on that front. There's absolutely nothing there. Cripes, Rogue Squadron actually had a director. And that's not happening at all. All right. So, and that was a Kennedy thing that she really wanted. So, I'm like, I don't know where this is going to go or what's going to happen, but the childish, emotional crap has got to stop. And everyone has to start thinking, where's the money? Which leads to money? And there can't be any yeah buts. There's no yeah buts in finance. There isn't. All right? People who yeah but put the federal deficit up at $30 trillion now. Okay, it is $30 trillion. Isn't that great? Dragging down the dollar, dragging down our economy. A little bit of debt is okay, but that kind of debt is not. Okay? That is not. Not consider. I mean, if you're let's say like I'm having a conversation with whomever, and I'm like, you do realize that Disney has the day of episode 7, the phone call, the investor call is the day of episode 7. All right. I don't expect a lot of news to come out of it because they never do. Here's the thing. You're talking to somebody, and it's one of those people. Think about, put your imagine, first off, they're all misogynists. They are. They earn that, okay? Unless you're Gina Carano. Now, if I, grew 3 inches and was an overweight brunette, maybe I could get attention. I don't, But here's the deal. Disney's $100 billion in debt. They can get the money. Their shares have been downgraded again. They can get the money. Galaxy's Edge can easily be reskinned back to the original trilogy in Mando. They can get the money from the ST. Okay, there is no money in the sequel trilogy. Go to Ollie's and you see sequel trilogy figures and collectibles there, toys and sequel trilogy timeline comic books riding on the shelf. They're earning money from it. High Republic hasn't made the top 100 bestsellers on Amazon. They're still getting money for it. That's what they think. They actually think because they don't look. And if they do admit they're not making any money, they'll still say they're not going to avoid the sequel trilogy because they're making money for it. That's what they do. Okay, they've got good people convinced. Why? You know who's making money off the sequel trilogy? Those YouTube channels. I'm a ravenous capitalist. I don't make money on this channel because I want to do what I want. I want to say what I want. And once you get monetized, YouTube has got your, your button of ice. So I don't want to do that. Okay. And also you get kind of addicted to that extra check every month. You know, some of these guys are making 6 figures. It's an awful lot of money to sit around every day doing a video and not saying anything. You know, see, he's not selling either. Kyle Ron doesn't sell either. You know, and you're right, Deborah. So the idea that but of course, they don't, the people that know that it's not selling and realize you're right still have doubts because of those malicious, avarice-filled, greedy bastards who don't do anything but sit around and bitch all day long on YouTube. Okay? You know, let's talk about actual news. Did they even read the Atlantic article? No. They read it. Did you understand what was going on there? And then I said, look at you with the blank face. You know, when you've got people who graduated Oxford, who graduated Dartmouth going, oh my God, she's toast. Right? I said that when I read that. Look, it doesn't matter what your education is, but you should know how to read between the lines. Okay? We have evidence of her leaving, of her not, at least not having any control anymore. Okay? The Puck article, Matt Bellany, just tearing her apart. And then at the end sarcastically saying, oh, did you hear she got her 3-year contract again? Well, I guess she's a good producer. That wasn't, oh, she's so great. That was like, you know, it's over. All we have to do is get official word. But I guarantee it, this is what's going to happen. Those big YouTube channels will pull back the goalposts. All right? They will push back the goalposts. Why? Because she's gone, the ST goes away. What do they have to talk about? What do they have to talk about? You know, there's a difference between going on YouTube and talking about Kennedy's leadership and how great you are as a leader, and going on YouTube and talking about actual news, actual legit news articles, which basically say that Kennedy's done. Not so many words. It all is going to come up out in the wash. Now, I want to explain something to you guys. I don't know what's going on with Pablo Hidalgo, but I think we would get a hell of a good idea of what might be happening with him if somebody could go in and jar him up a little bit. Make him say something he didn't want to say. All right? I don't know how this should be done, but I'm daring anybody to go on Twitter to do it. You just ask him, you took LFL off your bio, why? All right? Because I'll tell you, when he said to that other sub who's not in the chat right now, after 20 years, I have no plans and I don't know what hers are. And I'll tell you something, he didn't just say, he wasn't talking about himself. It was an admittance that Kennedy's on her way out the door too. Okay? I don't know. I mean, it would sure be nice to know, because then we would have something official to talk about that has changed big. Okay, you know, a lot. I mean, is going on right now that we haven't been able to see. They're not talking. People are not. They're not going to Deadline or Hollywood Reporter or Variety or Collider or any of the. They're not going to Mike Sutton or anything. But there is something going on there, right? There is. And it would be nice to force an official statement to get someone to admit something. So the fans have something to say, hey, okay, now we see he's gone. Or he's retiring. For sure, he said it. Okay? I don't really know how this could be set up. But I think if Hidalgo said something to where I'm, basically admits in not so many words that he's not at Lucasfilm anymore, then the Black Pills have to admit it. They have to admit the fans won one. And we're winning right now. I mean, the thing that makes me sad is Doomcock, and I love him, being worried about this. Don't, dude, if you're listening, don't be. Don't be, right? Again, ask the people that are talking to you. Where's the money in this? If they go forward following the ST, there's no point in bringing Luke Han and Leia back if all it does is ends up there, all right? And I know Jon Favreau enough through his movies, Swingers, great movie, from Iron Man, from Cowboys and Aliens, and I think his best movie, Chef, to know that the guy has a heart and a soul, and I don't think he wants that either, okay? I don't think, he's one of us. Yeah, there's something big happening here. Look, if Leia comes out, and I'm going to say this, they leaked Han Solo on purpose, so we'd know he's coming out, but he isn't even the bigger reveal. There's more coming with him. Leia shows up with a baby bump. They don't have to say anything. Let the fans speculate. Hey, Star Wars theology. Or they say something like, we're expecting twins. It's over. Okay. I don't know if they're going to go that far. Okay. Again, the more time you put between the rise of Palpatine and a new direction, the better it is. And I'll tell you why. As time goes on, Reylo fans will get fewer and fewer and fewer, and the SJWs who loved that will get quieter and quieter and quieter because companies are no longer woke. They're getting away from it. I am really, I'm excited. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna probably get up at 2 to watch it. Okay, and I might even do a reaction to it. And I can't wait. I literally am like, it's really going to be interesting that day. And, we've had the football taken away from us by Lucy, aka the Story Group and Johnson and JJ and Kennedy for so long that we're expecting the worst. But they're not the ones in charge of this. They're not. And Robert Rodriguez, if you watched his old movies, and he's not woke. Not woke at all. You watched, Jon Favreau isn't woke. Dave Filoni I don't know what he thinks, but he's not going to put anything that's going to piss off the fans and something like that. I'm probably going to be in my nightie going, or my PJs going, crying. But it's going to be something really jaw-dropping, I think. I think, first of all, we're going to see Luke and Grogu. We're going to see Han and Chewie. We're going to see the Falcon in all its glory. Hopefully without that fucking rectangle sensor dish. They gotta retcon that. That's why, you know. Just get one that was like the old one so it doesn't ruin the lines. And we'll see what happens. All right, we'll just, you know, Cad Bane is back. So there's going to be a showdown between him and Boba. I think, Deb, I think you're right. I think Mama Bear is right. But I just, yes, we do Star Wars theology. It's a sensor dish, not radar. It's not that I'm hopeful, it's that it doesn't make sense to follow what broke it. You know what I'm saying? There's no point. You know, I don't know if they're gonna kill off Cad Bane. They might chase him off, but if Han shows up and rescues Boba accidentally by killing Bane or running him off, you know, that would be interesting. And Han going, "You're still alive? What the, you know?" Oh, it's got to. I mean, here's the deal. The letdown for the fans, and of course the black pills who, you know, have the sequel trilogy, and, you know, Kathleen Kennedy does control something. She controls their YouTube channels. Because she lives rent-free in their brains, okay? She's just hanging out there in bubble baths. They can't point to the ST in this. Because the big investors, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, Bear Stearns, JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, know that the ST didn't make any money, okay? Those guys want money. I would like to see it turn on my little investment, okay? You know, I'm not going to be one of those Canadian truckers saying, "Oh, please GoFundMe, take my money and keep it." You know, there's a reason why people invest in companies. They expect a return of more than they invested. And no one's getting that right now, okay? And the worst thing you can do is reinforce the sequel trilogy. Because again, those people didn't like it. I've had normies say, "I didn't understand TFA." I've had normies say, all three of those movies were weird and didn't belong in Star Wars. Because at least normies know what Star Wars is. Fans apparently don't. They don't understand Luke giving Grogu basically a choice and a test. They didn't understand, you know, that at all. You know, you got people bitching about it. Luke as being some sort of dogmatic religious zealot, and it's like, no, he's not. This is his first student, okay? Never mind what you saw in The Rise of Palpatard, okay? And he's still a young guy. He was what, 22, 23 years old in Return of the Jedi? He's 28 now, okay? All right? Well, the fact of the matter is, when you start factoring in how badly the sequel trilogy failed, you start realizing they can't go that way anymore. That's why I'm like, they're not going to go that way. You know, I mean, they have to. I mean, in a world where we need heroes, why would you tear apart the heroes? You know? Yeah, Star Wars, you're right. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's basically giving him a choice, like Qui-Gon gave Anakin a choice, like Yoda gave him a choice. A lot of parallels to The Empire Strikes Back, and actually a lot of parallels to TLJ in the filming of it. I mean, a lot of people are going, "Oh, that house, that building they're building, it sure does look like what it looked like on TLJ and stuff." It's like, so, so everything Luke says in the movie is the 180-degree opposite of Skywalker and TLJ. This is not a Skywalker. It's going to end up that way. Yeah, you know, it's not. And when you look at the interior of the one building that was built, that looks like the stuff that they took from the art work that was made. Hey, Mike, from when they were making TFA, and you saw the commissioned art that there's the kind of the designs they wanted to use, and so that line, that clear like window going around, that's right out from the artwork that they had for where's I'm trying to fix this for TFA. So, and I think that artwork was actually created before George sold to Disney. A lot of that artwork that we saw that was so cool was his, not theirs. Okay? I mean, you know, but you see so many things. See, this is a thing they'll never tell us. You've got some of the artwork of Rey, and she's basically wearing Carillion blood stripes and a jacket like his, like Han's. Obviously, she's supposed to be his daughter. You see another bit of art. She's wearing a vest, pair of boots. She's got a blaster on her hip. You can see the lightsaber, and she's talking to Leia. They're looking out a window. Why did they choose not to make her the daughter? It would have made sense. I would actually have more pleasant feelings for TFA and TLJ and all the rest if they had done the right thing and not killed Han the way they did, and not turned Luke, whatever that was, and Leia. Talk about the most disrespectful thing you can do to George Lucas is to do what he did to those what they did to those characters. You know? And I'm really looking forward to seeing where they're going, because what I think, because they're pointing to a big movie, a big feature movie. That's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to get George's outline. But it's going to be it's going to be, again, if you look at the way George envisioned The Empire Strikes Back and Lee Brackett's first script, and then Larry Kasdan coming in and having George over his back, it was different. Okay, it's different now. Okay, it is not what it used to be. All right. That outline would not be what we got in the movie. Okay. George's outlines for Star Wars, Han was basically supposed to be some sort of Trandoshan. Okay, it's like, yuck. That didn't work out. You got to try out your ideas, look at them on paper, run them through your head, and go, no, yes, no, yeah. That's what you do. That's what he did. Leia and Luke weren't supposed to be brother and sister, and then it started. Then the idea of introducing Luke's twin sister as being another character didn't make any sense. And the story started to make more sense if they were brother and sister. And that's how it went, because it does make more sense. You're not bringing in more convoluted plot points, because him having a sister we didn't meet in Empire Strikes Back didn't work. Okay. And a script will change, a draft will change unless it's TLJ, from its first draft to its final. Indiana Jones 5, I think, has probably gone through 10 different revisions. I know in 2017, that interview, Harrison Ford had the reporter at his house. They were talking, and a messenger drove up with the script. The galaxy isn't necessarily small. It's the people who are the pinnacle of the story. That's a small group of characters, okay? The idea that the Force can be democratic and everybody's got it. We've all got 20,000 midichlorians in our... Okay, so we all can be like Anakin. No, that's not how the Force works. Okay? There's nothing wrong with people being different. That's the beauty of the human race. I do history. I do horses. I do guns and dogs. Okay? I do some writing. I don't do finance. I'm not good. I'm good enough at numbers to understand a budget, but that's it. I just know. I know if someone's trying to screw me over, but I don't do that. You hire somebody to do that. My husband is probably a better politician than I am, because he doesn't fall into people's emotional traps. And he's very quiet, but he can sure get people pissed off at him by not saying a whole lot. Okay? I'm the one that'll just say, there you go, that's what I think. People are gonna hate you in this world for what you say, if you're brutally honest. They're going to, I think, want you around, not necessarily like you. If you kiss their asses and are part of the team, they think. That's not a team, though. The most popular people in your high school, they didn't have friends, they had acquaintances. They had people who wanted to hang out with them because they thought they were popular. You know what the cool kids were doing? We're all wearing leather jackets, standing around in the smoking area talking about, Ozzy and the Clash, and there was a division there because the punkers and the metalheads hated each other. And I was like, I like both kinds. I like both music, all right? We were the cool ones because we didn't follow that shit, okay? We just, we were over there mocking them, all right? And it's better to stand your ground and be who you are and not care what people think. And I think part of the thing that's driving a lot of people with the black pill stuff that have YouTube channels, and it's not the big channels, the people with smaller channels, they're worried that they won't be cool anymore if they say, I disagree, you're wrong. Again, the Friday afternoon circle jerk is a place for all the people who think they're cool get to hang out, not say anything substantive. Just, and it's not, that why want to watch that when all they do is complain like a bunch of old women? I have no time for that. I don't care. Okay. So anyway, I gotta go. I think he's I think he's just part of the species, whatever that species is. I gotta go, and I think having Grogu be related to Yoda is a bit too on the nose. Okay, I think that's a bit too on the nose. Anyway, I gotta go. You guys be good. Have a good Saturday. I will probably I'm gonna try to be in the Echo Base chat at least for a little while. I'm tired. I have to go to mass, and I gotta take the dog out, and all the rest of that good stuff. So, you guys all be good, and I will see you around the galaxy. I don't think I'm gonna leave you with this. I don't think Grogu is Yoda's kid, nor do I think he's a clone. Oh yeah, Dave, you're right on that. I think he's just a member of the species because either clone or offspring, it's too on the nose. I'll see you guys around the galaxy. Bye, Mike. Bye, Dave. Bye, Euler Greg. Talk to y'all later.